Hey, it's Mike back with some more history. And here's Ev. Say hi, Ev. We're at the top of Morris Canal Inclined Plane, number 9 West. Right, Ev? And here we still have some of the cable in place. So Plane 9 is now Port Warren Park, Warren County, New Jersey, just a little east of Phillipsburg. And it was the longest inclined plane on the canal. It gained about 100 feet of elevation, which would have been several locks, at least 4 if you were to go by the largest locks ever used on a towpath canal, but probably more like 10 if you were to look at the other locks on the Morris Canal. And the plane was about 1,600 feet long. So this is the best example of an inclined plane on the entire canal to visit. The turbine chamber can be visited when it's open for tours. But there's a lot to see here. So this is looking eastbound toward Jersey City, and a car would have come up over this. There was a small rail car that the boats would be secured into. They had hinges on them so that they could make it over the top of this incline here and then dip back down into the canal to head this way. So this is looking towards Stewartsville. Now the rails for this sat on sleeper stones, because before standard railroad ties made of wood like we know today, or a lot of them are concrete now, but back then they were placed in stone sleepers. The earliest railroads like Allegheny Portage Railroad, Camden and Amboy, some of the Mauch-Chunk Railroad, those were all stone sleepers originally too, but they did away with them because the sleepers did not maintain the gauge. They did maintain the gauge you could see in old photos using wood or whatever on this. And seated on top of the sleepers over here is some of the cable, which would have historically been in the middle here and used to pull the boats uphill. When the canal was first built, they used hemp rope, and the inclined planes were powered by a overshot water wheel. But that was dependent on the amount of water in the upper part of the canal, slow process. So there would have been a trough that came out, and just over here, in about center of the frame where the big tree is, there would have been a penstock, and the turbine worked on the same principle as a modern sprinkler system. Bring the water from underneath, was attached to a vertical rod, to a gear system. It's okay, Ev. Over here, you still have the tar pot in place. Used to lubricate the metal components here. And we're looking down the plane here. The plane tender's house is now the Jim and Mary Lee Museum. Jim Lee Sr. started running this kind of like a private park and giving tours of the turbine chamber that he and his family cleared by hand. Did an amazing job. The Lees are still very involved. Jim Lee Jr. still gives the tours. Jim Lee III is a curator here, so they're an awesome family, still involved, with a great canal heritage. Going down the plane here. A little bit of it was removed for the garage right here, but otherwise it's very well intact. So when the canal was abandoned in 1924, it was much dismantled by 1927, and the turbine chamber was filled in. When the Lees excavated it, they found the turbine was still in place, and it's really an outstanding place to come and visit to see how the canal worked. So there you have it, Plane 9 West at Port Warren. Right, Ev? Can you wave bye? Can you wave bye? No? Okay, we'll go. We'll go.